Hi, I'm Julie from the Coaching Den for Life, and welcome to Business and Personal Development Day. And having thought about a few things, I thought we'd talk about goal setting today and give you a few hints and tips about how you really go about setting your goals. So, people might say, "Oh, what are you talking about, Julie? It's not New Year," but that's the trouble, isn't it? At New Year, we all go out and we set these big goals. Have you looked at them recently? Have you seen how far you've come with them? Have you achieved them? Or, like the majority of us, have they just been thrown away and put in the bin? But goals are for all year. Yeah, they're not just for New Year. And if you really, really want to achieve something, you have to be very, very specific about what you're going to do and what your goals are. Because, they've got to be practical and they've got to change your life. So how do we go about that? For a process to kind of like activate your dreams, you're worth so much more than most probably what you're currently doing. And many, many things stop us from doing what we want to do. Whether that be anxiety, worry about what other people are going to say about us. And you know what? Who cares? Yes, the only person that has to criticise or think about you is you. Forget about what everybody else is thinking, because I guarantee you, 90% of the time they're thinking about themselves. Okay, so let's get that one out of the window. Let's get away from being able to achieve because we might make a mistake, or, we might get frightened of doing something. So I bet you anything, you might think to yourself, right, I've done personal development before and yeah, I've got my goals. Well, I'm telling you, I bet you haven't. I bet you 100% that you haven't got your goals. And you can call me and say, "Julie, what? You're joking." No, I do have my goals. I know where I'm going and what I'm doing. But do you have a goal? Or do you just have a dream? Now, dreams are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. You can dream about changing your relationship, growing a huge business, traveling the world, anything, absolutely anything. If you can imagine it and you can dream it, you can do it. But you can't do it without setting goals to get there. So we're going to go through the 5 different steps of goal setting. You might want to get a pen and paper. So hang on just a second. If you haven't got one, run and go and get a pen and paper, and then we're going to write these down and I'll explain to you why they are so, so important. Because this is where people make mistakes, including me. I've been studying this stuff for years. And a little story, I'll tell you a story of how it works, or it's how it's worked in my life, and also how, when I've let it go, my life has just gone boom. So many years ago, I was sat there, my little boy was 8 months old, and I was working as a lecturer in the college, and I had a dream that I could stay at home and look after my children, that I didn't have to go out to work. But like I say, it was a dream. And then one night I sat down and I thought, right, forget all of these doubts and everything. If you could do whatever you wanted to do, what would it be? And I got a pen, I got paper, and I wrote down that I was going to have a day nursery, that I was going to have out of school clubs, that I was going to change people's lives, for the better, that I was going to be a patron of inclusivity, and the childcare settings that I'd open would all be based on that ethos. And the reasons why I was doing it was so that my children and other children who'd been brought up like me would have a much better chance at life, because it would be helping the families. For my sake, it would be giving my children what I never had as a child. So that was my value basis. So that was right back in, goodness me, 2000. And because they were goals and they were written down and they were specific, which we're going to go through all of these now, in 5 years from having nothing, as in a mortgage like most people have, but no like spare cash or anything like that, I set up a babysitting service for the tourist industry, opened my first out of school club, opened a second out of school club, bought a building, a Victorian building, renovated it, and then that was set up as a 36-place integrated day nursery, set up the mobile creche company, set up the franchise arm of that. Then I went bust. That's another story. I had my goals and I'd achieved them because they were specific, but I forgot to keep adding to them. Once I'd made them goals, I was that busy working towards them, I didn't sit back and reflect. Was it what I really wanted at that time? Or had I changed? Because I can guarantee you the goals that you set yourself years ago won't be based on the values that you have now. So yeah, we all make mistakes. And that was one of mine. And you'll have heard about, obviously, the law of attraction, the magic, all of this. But there's a certain process that goes with that. It's not just, right, okay, let's put that out there into the universe and it will come back to me. The whole idea behind it is the fact that if you put something out into the universe, that you've written it down, you will then go on to achieve it because your focus is on that. And that's where it's going. So, do you want a goal or do you want just a desire? Because a desire is absolutely great, but it's wishy-washy. Okay? You know, the things that you say, I wish I had a nice new car. Oh, I'd love to have that big house down the road. Oh, I want to travel for 3 years around Europe. Oh, I wish, I don't know, I'm not very good at materialistic stuff, but you'll know what you wish for. Now that's the difference. That's a dream. That's a wish. It's not a goal. So let's clarify that now, if you like. So the problem is many people stay with that dream. And I'm sure it's not you lot on the mothership, because I know how motivated and how incredible every single woman is on here. But a lot of people do stay with that dream. They stay with that, I wish I could do that, but I couldn't do it. Why? And you get the buts, the whys, the wherefores. I can't do it. I haven't got enough money. I can't do it. I've got family commitments. I wish I could do it, but I don't know. I've just split up with my boyfriend. I just don't feel that, I'm brave enough to do this. Okay? So they're all the wishes. And people that stay with the wish, stay where they are. That is one thing I can absolutely guarantee you. Anyway, let's just cheer up, okay? Because you lot are not people that are going to stay where you are you? So we're going to look at the 5 steps. The 5 steps of setting a goal. So if you've got your pens ready, your first one, okay? Your goal has to be absolutely crystal clear. You have to know what it is and be very, very, very specific about it. So it needs to be timed, okay? So, my example of that is in March 2023, I will be going in my camper van and I will be touring around Europe for a minimum of a year. To fund that, I will need £10,000. I will need to be able to work online anywhere in the world. I'm going to do that because I am now setting up the online, I have the Coaching Den for Life. And this is one of the things that I find, that when people come to me for coaching, we can just sit there for an hour and then we get clarity on what the goal is for that person. Because before, it's all been a bit wishy-washy. So we sit down and the questions I ask make them think about the answers and their goals, and we get it down to the absolute nitty-gritty. So your goal has to be specific and it has to be crystal clear. When is it going to happen? How is it going to happen? How am I going to make it happen? Do I need a different qualification? Do I need to cut back on my outgoings? Because money is never a motivator. It really, really isn't. Yeah, it's the stuff behind what you feel, in your head. So yeah, get yourself clear. Get clarification on where you want to go and what your goals are. Specific and clear. Make sure they're big and they're compelling and that they use that desire in you. Get excited when you write them down. Yes, because they've got to be big, because this is the way our brains work, okay? I don't know, say you want to lose £5. Oh, it might be kilos now, isn't it? I'm old. Okay. So you want to say, you want to lose £5 in weight, or you want to lose £50 in weight. Your actual brain will work with you better for the much bigger goal, because £5 in weight, if you lost £5 in weight, would anybody notice? Would you feel sexier? Would you feel more motivated? Would you feel more energized? I can guarantee you, if you went for the £50 goal to lose £50 of weight, you could be thinking, okay, this is going to get me motivated. People are going to notice how much I've changed, how my body has changed, my clothing. Now, I'm not a massive one on weight, but lots and lots of people, they are, okay? And the main thing is make your goal big. And what is that Ruth says? If it's not big enough, I can't remember the rest of it. So make it big and make it compelling. I've got my goal, I'm working on it, and actually I'm starting on it now. It's not going to happen for 2 years, but I'm working on it now. Every single day. Okay? Because that goal is going to happen. And if you know me, or anybody knows me, if I say something's going to happen, it happens. Always. That's my goal setting. But another one is, don't type your goal into a laptop, yeah, or a text message. Get a physical pen. Get the most beautiful notebook, if you like, or piece of paper. I have hundreds of pieces of paper around this place. I'm a massive fan of lists. I have to have lists, and I tick them off. Get coloured pens. Yeah. Put your goal around them in the middle. Colour it in. Do it however you want to do it. Put pictures in it. It doesn't matter. What your goal is in that centre. And how you're going to get there is out. But you must write it down, because there's something that fires up the neurons in your brain. When you hold a pen and you empty your thoughts out and you put them on paper, you can then see them. If you leave them in your mind just as thoughts, they'll float away and they'll be gone. And something more important will come along in your life that will take you maybe away from your goals. if you're like me, I'm a magpie. I love, oh, that's exciting over there. Oh, that's exciting over there. And I have to have that written down because otherwise I can't focus on where I'm going. So many other exciting things out there. So write it down. So we're going to go over, we're going to be specific, crystal clear as to what your goal is. Make sure it's big. Make sure it excites you. Make sure it makes you want to jump up and down and feel great and get that emotional feeling behind it. Write it down. Write it down clear. Write down the absolute steps. However big that goal is, break it down into little steps. Okay, where am I going to get the money from? What am I going to do about this? How's it going to make me feel? Put it somewhere you can see it. Every day. Look at it in the morning. Look at it in the evening. Make sure you can see it, because then that will be a reminder. What have I done towards my goal today? Oh, maybe I can do this. Maybe it's just something 5 minutes, but maybe it's something that's going to take you an hour or 2 hours. But every single day, you'll be then working towards that goal. So make sure, put it on the fridge. If you like food like me, stick it on the fridge. Make sure you can see it. And it'll remind you, and it'll be constantly there. And your goal has got to be, it's got to be aligned with your values. Now that's a whole other coaching session. You know, finding out what your values are, what your top 10 values are. But I know many of you on here, you know, you've been into self-development, business development, and you'll know what your values are. And I will do another session based on values. But make sure that your goal actually fits in with your value system and fits into where you want to go. So when I was building the businesses years ago, it was all about my children and making sure that my children had a really good life, that they could go travelling, that they could go to university if they wanted to. That was my value. That was so very, very important to me. And that was my driver. My driver now is me. My children are grown up or near enough. And this is my time. This is my value time. So my driver is to get out there, and I'm doing it for me this time. To have the time to travel and to get excited and to share my travels with you. So that is my impetus. That is me putting me first and going, that's what I want to do for me. So it's got to be aligned to your highest value. If it's not aligned to your highest value, you won't do it. You will lose interest in it. So what are your values that can be, you know, have a think about that, write them down and push your boundaries. Get out of your comfort zone. Get excited about things. And the reason that your values, you must be aligned to your highest values, is that money is not the motivator. I mentioned that earlier. But emotional labour gives value to what you're doing. So whatever that is, whether that is removing barriers to participation, inclusion, that's what I'm about. You know, make sure that you've got that emotional backing towards you, because you'll always find money. Always, always, always. If you believe in something and you want to do something, the money will always come. But it's the value that will drive you forward. It's the value that will put the petrol in your car and make you move forward. And don't become complacent. These goals are exciting. I'd love you to put in the comments what some of your goals are. And it doesn't have to be one goal. You know, I have a list of about 30. But what happens is, as you go through them, you kind of go, well, actually, My heart's not really in that one. And that's your emotional speaking to you. It's okay, let's scratch that out. And you go through a process of, sifting out the ones that really don't resonate with your values. So you can write them all down, go away. But when you're looking at them, listen to your gut, because you will know what resonates with you. And not all of your goals are going to get achieved. But don't beat yourself up about that. That doesn't matter, because you're always working towards something, and nobody achieves all of their goals. Okay, so stay positive. It was mostly about 20% of your goals that you write down that you will achieve. But how much better is that than not achieving anything? This is, there was actually a programme on the TV this morning, a gentleman who had motor neurons disease, and he said, they said, oh, what are you most grateful for? He said, I'm alive. I might be locked in here, but I'm alive and I'm achieving and I'm setting my goals and I'm doing things. I'm not living dead. I'm living my life. And I thought that was so, it really, really touched me. It really did. So quickly, just to recap, gosh, I've been on for 20 minutes and I've had my notes, so I keep on track. Be specific. Be crystal clear on your goals. Make them big and compelling and exciting. Write them down. Put them somewhere where you can see them every single day, and sift them out to make sure that they are aligned with your emotional values. So I'm Julie from the Coaching Den for Life, and you can contact me at the Coaching Den for Life on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, and these videos all go up on YouTube as well. So please come along and subscribe. I'd love to see your comments down below. Choose one goal. Give me a call. I'll keep you accountable. Take care now. Lovely to see you. Have a great afternoon. Take care. Bye-bye.